like we recently conducted at from Hureo, you have conducted a usability study at Townscript, right? So tell us, what is the advantage of conducting usability testing or usability services from an outside agency? What is the advantage of that? Like, why a company, a product company should do that?
I think there are multiple advantages actually. Like, first of all, it is very important like whatever external agencies you're working in, it's like your thoughts align. The way there is a cultural alignment, because there are a lot of agencies out there probably where you won't be aligning it, and then there will be friction. So identifying the right agency for you where your outlook towards the product building is sort of aligned with you.
Right.
Once you find that, I think it's a great idea, because first of all, it allows you to move faster. You can, because startups, they're always less on resources, and there are always things to do. There are a lot of things to do, but the number of the people doing it they're always on the lesser side, irrespective like how your hiring is going and everything. So first of all, it gives you a lot of speed. You can do a lot of projects in parallel without affecting your general pipelines. That's number one. Secondly, like for example, working with a Hureo, like we were pleasantly surprised by intensity and the depth of the usability studies which we did, and it was a learning for our team as well, because you can do always a usability study, but like what kind of a depth you want to go, what kind of like efforts you need to go into hiring right users for you, what kind of questions you need to ask them, what kind of interviews you need to conduct with them, that becomes very important. So that was one good revelation for our team, like what kind of intensity and the depth is required to conduct a very good user study. That's number one. Secondly, somebody who comes with external environment, he thinks very fresh. They come up with a lot of fresh perspectives. They have a more first principle thinking. Sometimes they come up with like completely wacky ideas, like okay, they ask questions, why not this way or that way, and they're eye openers as well, because your internal teams, after years and years, looking at your messaging, your product and your competitors, they sort of tend to get aligned to a one way of thinking. So working with external people out there, they come up with a lot of fresh ideas, and I think that collaboration leads to a very positive outcome out there.
Right, sure.
Sort of.
Often what happens, like we have seen that especially usability studies, right? Like designers or design groups want to kind of promote or support the kind of designs that they're coming up, right? And sometimes the PM has their own agendas, right? And developers want something else. So the researchers which are working internally are kind of like everybody's pulling them on their side, right? Because studies kind of give data, and then data kind of drives the strategy for a product. So everybody wants them to be on their side, and sometimes researchers are reporting to one of them, right? This happens to us a lot. We go to a meeting, and then when meeting is over, and then the PM comes, especially marketing heavy companies, right? Because they are afraid marketing is gonna like take their case after the results will come. Why did you design this kind of a thing? And it's not really a blame game. It's just like you are just validating what is not working. But culturally this happens. So this is always a tug of war between our PMs, designers, developers. Everybody wants you to take their side. But when you come as an outside and external agency, it becomes far easy for us to be fair, right? Because we are not reporting to any of you, and we are an external agency, so that becomes easy. But I think there's a fear, a lot of fear in people when we enter, because they think it's going to be a blame game, and which is not the case. But often there's the sort of fear which kind of prevails with that.
I think that's like very important for the company culture as well, because there can be company cultures where if there's a high cost of failure, you know. And if you fail, there will be a lot of blames going to happen. You will be standing in a dock, and I think those cultures are very like they're not friendly to innovation, because then if people know that like if I'm going to try 3 ideas and if they're going to fail, I'm going to be blamed for it. So I think it's very important in startup where you tell your team it's okay to fail. Okay to try, okay to fail. This is perfectly fine. And once that, so you make the failure out of the question. That is, failure is a good option as well. Then your primary sort of driving factor becomes to create a best experience for your users out there. And I think that can create a lot nice environment for external people, for internal teams, and they're completely aligned to the product goals out there.
I see. like the way things innovate, right? You
Yeah.
build something, you
Yeah.
test it out there, then you
Yeah.
realize what's not working.
Yes.
It's not failure.
Yes.
It's like you have built something with your team,
Yeah.
you went out to
Yeah.
check with the users,
Yeah.
you realize, okay, this thing is working, that thing
Yeah.
is not working,
Yeah.
how to align certain thing, how to
Exactly.
remove certain features.
Yes.
So it's not really, you don't get this nirvana sitting in your studio, right?
Yes.
I should know all the answers.
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody knows the answer.
Yes,
We all are
yes.
discovering them.
Yeah.
So this culture of like you should know all the answers, like as a designer or a PM, and if you do a usability study and if the user thinks differently than you, then
Yes.
it is your fault. So I
Yes.
think this culture is also a very wrong culture, which is like
Yeah,
people are
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
blaming each other
Yeah,
rather than
yeah.
thinking, okay, no, from the beginning we should have a very iterative kind of a style,
Yes.
make a concept and do a quick testing
Yeah.
and get a quick feedback and
Yes,
kind of evolve
yes,
with that.
Yes. And that's true with the tech products out there.
Right,
Again,
yeah.
like as we discussed, the tech products you can ship very fast and you can modify very fast.
Right,
You know.
yeah.
So when we talk about if something is not right, there is not a huge cost
Yeah,
of
right.
not getting it right.
Right,
You can ship something like 4 days later and make it right. You know.
Right, yeah.
So the culture should be fostering your quick iterations and quick innovations.
Right.
You try out many things and you just measure it and then see what is working, what is not,
Yes.
and then you move to other iterative cycles.
Great.